The shocking truth about vitamin D is it's one of the most overlooked components of a healthy immune system in your body and our body, in addition to the removal of toxins.
Did you know that before the development of antibiotics and advanced medical care, healthcare professionals unknowingly treated patients that had infectious diseases using vitamin D?
It's crazy. When your body doesn't have enough vitamin D, your immune system can have a difficult time fighting off infections. In fact, several studies myself and Anna were reading have found that people with D deficiencies are more likely to experience things like upper respiratory infections, colds, influenza, pneumonia, and even bacterial infections.
There's evidence that supplementing vitamin D can decrease the risk of getting sick with influenza or other related illnesses.
This could explain why so many people are getting sick, Anna, in the world in the winter at the moment.
So true. In winter months, people tend to hibernate indoors to avoid the cold and spend less outdoors. Did you know that people living in northern latitudes,
which covers most of the US and Europe, can't make vitamin D in the winter months due to the angle of the sun, which is relative to, the Earth. So the lower the levels of vitamin D, it makes you more susceptible to things like catching a cold or flu.
There's also evidence that suggests low levels of vitamin D are associated with worse flu outcomes and increased mortality.
And it's theorised that this occurs, right, because vitamin D can help prevent a dangerous, what they call cytokine storm, that can happen with a flu infection.
For this very reason, researchers from Trinity College Dublin also urging the Irish government to promote vitamin D for improving flu outcomes.
Of course, though, this research is just preliminary and does not prove anything as of yet. But time will tell whether there is a true relationship between vitamin D and flu outcomes. With that being said, all this is pretty impressive for a little vitamin that your body makes, right, from the sun. That's incredible. You see, it turns out that vitamin D does so much more for the immune system than just help eliminate, infections from viruses and things like that.
What about vitamin D and autoimmunity?
Indeed, Anna. So this factor, it's important to know how vitamin D can help balance your immune system. You see, vitamin D exerts an immunomodulant effect on your body. This is important because when your immune system becomes overactive, it can attack your cells. And when this happens, it's called an autoimmune disease.
Research has found correlations between vitamin D deficiency and autoimmune diseases such as multiple sclerosis, lupus, type 1 diabetes. As such, experts believe that getting enough vitamin D is important to the prevention of autoimmunity.
See, the shocking truth here is that vitamin D has immunomodulatory effects that help balance the immune system and may prevent the immune system from overreacting and attacking healthy cells. You see, what about the potential link between vitamin D and cancer?
Good question. So thus far, we know that the immune system is important for killing off infections and the killing off of harmful bacteria or viruses.
It is. And did you know, guys, your immune system has such an important job of destroying cancer cells before they multiply and become a problem.
Our immune systems aren't perfect, but did you know that cancer cells have some clever tricks? Some cancer cells, for instance, can change their behaviour to hide from your immune system.
Yeah, they can indeed hide from your natural immune system. It's crazy. So there's shocking evidence that suggests that vitamin D may play an important role in the immune system for, several types of cancer cells. And this would explain why there are associations with vitamin D and a reduced cancer mortality. This seems to be particularly the case, for example, where vitamin D and a reduced risk of breast cancer, which we will cover on next week's video. So stay tuned and subscribe and hit the bell for the next one.
A quick heads up, next week's video, one study showed women with high levels of vitamin D had an 82% lower risk of breast cancer.
Crazy.
Compared to a woman with low level of vitamin D.
Survival rates for breast cancer are also, remarkably better for women with higher vitamin D. It's crazy, it really is.
Of course, cancer is exceptionally complicated, and this does not mean vitamin D is a prevention or cure.
Rather, it shows that vitamin D, in all cases, plays an important role in our immune systems, which we rely on to keep us so healthy.
So you're wondering how to get enough vitamin D, and that there are so many choices.
And ideally, you should get vitamin D, as we all know, from the sun. It's easier in the summer months. It's a given, right? But you need to aim for a good 15 minutes of sun, right? Every single day. And it really, really does help.
In addition to producing vitamin D sun exposure, it's known to trigger the release of nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide, I was reading, can combine with reactive oxygen species, which is produced basically by the sun as well. And it produces a compound called peroxynitrate, which is a natural antibacterial agent produced in your body.
Getting sun exposure can also help normalise your
circadian rhythm, right? For better sleep, which also plays a critical role in your immune health.
Yeah.
However, getting 15 plus minutes of sun exposure simply isn't possible or even practical sometimes. If you're unable to get enough sun exposure, the next best option is getting it through your diet. With things like you can try wild caught oily fish or wild mushrooms or even via nutritional whole food supplements.
Well, it's a good idea to take a vitamin D supplement during winter months, or if you spend most of your time indoors. The shocking truth about vitamin D supplements out there are most are sourced from the fat in lamb's wool.
Which is crazy, and I don't know if you know about it, but it's irradiated as well. So go and look at your bottle. If it says lanolin or if it says calicalciferol, it's lamb's wool. You see, mushrooms are the only superfood source for vitamin D, making them optimal, and they're environmentally friendly. They're an environmentally friendly source of vitamin D.
Despite rumours that the plant-based form of vitamin D is inferior to animal-based vitamin D, studies have found that both forms of vitamin D are equally effective in the PubMed studies in the description below.
And in addition to organic vitamin D, an ideal supplement should include the nutritional cofactors that really optimize rich mineral absorption, things like greens, the right balance of vitamin K, magnesium, and other nutrients your body needs to make the most of vitamin D.
In the description of the video is a superfood source of vitamin D we highly recommend.
Indeed, guys. So also in the description is so many studies, fill your boots. The immune system is critical to our well-being, right? Research shows that vitamin D is critical for immune health through protecting us from infections and helping to prevent an overactive immune system. Since one small vitamin can have such a big impact, getting enough vitamin D should be a priority to you every single day.
We hope this brought you massive value. You will find links to the study and resources down in the description below, and the superfood source of vitamin D that we love.
And as always, it's normally Anna that says this, but we love and appreciate you. See you next week at 5 p.m. UK time. If you've got any questions at all, if you want any information, like I said, there's about 20 different studies that back up pretty much what we've talked about here. Studies, correlations, and even PubMed studies and whatnot. Put it in the description. Go and have a read. Look up the link. And of course, I'll also put the link myself and Anna for the natural source of vitamin D that we recommend, something we've been using personally for 4 years now. I'll put that in the description as well. And if you want a $50 off coupon to essentially get buy one, get one free, excuse me, then feel free to comment in the comments. You can reach out to us on our Facebook and Instagram. I've got a tickly cough. No, this is raw, so this is first cut, first take. So we hope this brings you value. Have an incredible week ahead. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. I can't wait for the holidays. It's a magical time for us in the Hatch House. It's so good. But yeah, massive value to you all. Lots of love, and stay tuned. See you next week at 5 p.m. UK time.